Apologetics Australia will be refuting Ben Shepero on his apparent disapproval of the 18 school shootings. Let's listen to what he says.
There's a group called Everytown. Everytown is a gun control group. And Everytown said that there were 18 school shootings in the month of January. Now, you may be wondering, why didn't I hear about those school shootings every single day? The answer is because there were not 18 school shootings in the month of January. There were more like 3. Okay? Even one is terrible. But there were no mass school shootings, and the ones that exist are bad enough without you having to blow it up to 18. And we can go through them. Right? ABC News said there were 18 school shootings in the first 45 days of 2018, according to Everytown. And New York Daily News said the same thing. But that's not true. Okay, twice, so they counted these as gun incidents on campus. Twice, someone shot themselves on a school grounds. One incident on January 3rd featured a man shooting himself in a former school's parking lot. On January 10th, a teen killed himself in an Arizona elementary school bathroom. Okay, that is not a school shooting, that is a school suicide. Okay, 4 times, a bullet was fired through a school or dorm's window. A gunshot on January 4th was fired at a high school in Seattle through an office window. No one was hurt. On January 10th, a shot was fired shattering a California University classroom window. No injuries reported. The same day in Texas, a bullet was accidentally fired through a classroom wall at the Grayson College Criminal Justice Center. No one injured. On January 15th, a bullet traveled through a residential hall's dorm room. No injuries reported. On January 25th, a Mobile, Alabama high school student fired a gun on campus. No injuries. On January 26th, shots were fired from a car in a parking lot. No injuries. On February 5th, a 3rd grader pulled the trigger on a cop's gun. No one was injured. On February 8th, a shot was fired inside Metropolitan High School. No one was injured. Okay, there have only been a few cases in which someone was injured other than the shooter. January 22nd in Texas, a teenage girl was wounded by shots from a semi-automatic handgun. At the same day, a 14-year-old boy was injured in a shooting in Gentilly, Louisiana. February 1st, 5 children were injured in an accidental shooting, so that's not even a purposeful shooting, it's accidental. And finally, on February 5th, a teenager was shot and injured outside a high school. There are only 3 deadly shootings, apparently, in the last 45 days. So that is still awful. Every one of these is awful. Every one of these is tragic and terrible and an act of evil. That does not mean that 18 happened. So I think that it's just important to get the statistic correct. Like, you wonder why people don't trust the media. It's because the media don't bother to do any of this. They just give you the bottom line, 18 school shootings. And then the minute you dig into it, you realize there were not 18 school shootings. There were 3.
Response to Ben Shepero. Ben Shepero makes no sense. There were 17 or some say 18 shootings. Just because not in every case someone didn't die does not mean it wasn't part of a shooting. The bottom line is there were 18 separate instances where it involved guns. It may not all be cases of mass shootings. This doesn't mean it wasn't a case of shooting. So Shepero is all over the place when he assumes there are only 3. No one suggested there were casualties in every case. No organisation said that. However, if Ben would like to get into the statistics of things, let's show him that since 2013, that's in the last 5 years, there have been 90 cases of people being killed due to gun violence at schools. Many of these cases include mass shootings. And Ben Shepero lied to say, there was no mass shooting in 2018, but we know that just the recent case of that white lunatic going out and shooting, I don't know, what was it, about 17 people or something that got killed. Or, by the way, folks, I'll put 2 hyperlinks below and you can see the sources. The same one that Ben Shepero quotes, I think he said something like the NBC or CNBC. You can have a look to 2018 report, and I'll take it from that, 3 dead. But you go to the previous pages, 2017, all the way to about 2013, you will see over 90 cases of school shootings, which included many of the mass shootings. So that's 90 lives in the last 5 years. And these are children, everyone. These are kids. So this clown, Ben Shepero, has a go at the media saying, the media is misrepresenting. Yet this guy turns around and he thinks that a shooting only consists of when people get killed. Unbelievable.